Hey everybody, how are you guys doing? How's it going, everybody? Good to see you. Man, you guys are here before I am. It's crazy. Thank you. Hello, Eric. What's going on? Dan, ABCO, Dexter, Francois, Raven, Vaxer. Vaxer, isn't it past your bedtime, man? Hello there, Jay, Sam, Philip, Cole, Pip. Pip says they got their shipping notification. Pip, if you could DM that to me on the Discord, I would like to see that. Matt, hello. Jason, hey, what's up? Jack. Any other names? Tom, hello, Tom. Kratos. Kalareth? How's it going? Man, you guys are already super chatting. You guys are crazy. I want to put here. Can I put that on the screen? Will that show up? Oh my god. That little one-up hippo is adorable and I love it. Look at that thing. The thing is awesome. That thing is so cool. Trying to refresh something. All right, so that doesn't show up. If that's the case, I'm going to put this back over here. And I'll put that right there. That'll make it easier for me. So first off, Dexter, thank you very much for the $2 super chat. I appreciate the support. Jack, thank you. Very good afternoon to you, sir. Thank you for the $5 super chat. And Joel Thompson, that little one-up hippo might be my favorite thing ever. I love that thing. It is so hilarious and wonderfully done. Thank you for the sticker. Vaxer, did I enjoy the movie? I did enjoy the movie. I didn't, like, it's not an amazing movie or anything, but it's certainly enjoyable. I had fun watching it. I'm glad that I went. So there's that. But is it as good as Terminator 2? No, of course not. But I had fun with it. Matt, no, Lloyd is not on tomorrow with me. He is AFK tomorrow. He'll be back next episode. In fact, I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about the podcast itself, because I'm trying to make a decision if I should record Stadiacast 31 today. Since I don't have I don't have to wait for Lloyd to be available, I could just record Stadiacast episode 31 today, and then I would be able to include all that stuff, and then tomorrow just do an open chat. And I'm curious what everybody thinks about that. Yeah, I went to go see the new Terminator movie. I will say this. The one thing that the YouTube needs to do is they need to give me the ability to change the font. The font is just too small on... oh my goodness. The font is just too small. Patrick, hello. Hello, Sweden. How's it going? Francois, they updated your shipping. I just checked my email. I didn't get any shipping notifications, so. Pip, if you could, you know what you could do? If you could send a screenshot to me through through Twitter or through the Discord, I would like to see the evidence. Not that I think you're full of beans, but, you know, maybe you're full of beans. Hello there, Netherlands. NR3AL. How's it going? See, the thing is if I do a recording tomorrow, then a lot of the stuff that I was going to talk about today would get talked about tomorrow as well. And tomorrow I was thinking I would just do another open mic. Thanks, Vaxxer. I appreciate it, man. I could just do another open mic and I could respond to what you guys are thinking. But I want to get this information out about the strings. So I feel like it would be a better idea for me to record the show today. I still have not heard back from the go-between between me and John. I have his email address and I could email him himself, but I don't want to get pushy. I don't want to bug him. So, you know, hopefully we'll find out. Jay Smith, the strings? Yes, we got the strings. We got the strings. In fact, we go to runjumpstomp.com. I posted the show notes yesterday. Right here. Let me grab the show notes for you. There's the show notes for you. That's true, Vaxxer. I would be the one full of beans. Carl, I just brought a portable USB HDMI battery powered monitor to use with Stadia on the go. I can't wait to play. What is it, Carl? A portable USB HDMI battery powered monitor. Like, what would you plug it into? No, I agree, Jay. It would be easier for them to talk to us after launch, but when I spoke to John's manager, not like somebody who tells him what to do, but I assume it's somebody who manages his appearances and times and stuff like that. They said he wants to do it before the launch. Oh, okay. So you're going to plug your Chromecast into this. How big is it, Carl? Road to 3K on YouTube. Bill, keep up the good work. 3K? Oh, is that subscribers? We don't have that many, do we? So they're doing the AMA. I don't think there will be a Connect before launch. SofaSpy, I think, and I could be wrong, but I think we're going to get a Stadia Connect before, or not before launch, on launch day. That's what I would do anyway. Like, if I were in charge, that's what I would do. I think that would be a great idea. By the way, I'm still having that same issue with the video flashing at me. Well, it only flashes if I go to the live part. So if I go to now. Oh, maybe it's fixed. Nope, there we go. Yeah, so I gotta pause the video. That's so irritating. And well, you know what I'll do? I'll rewind it back so I can just see the logo. Well, you know what would be great is if I could just hide it. Baxter. If I could hide it, that would be wonderful. Since there's an AMA on the 13th, if there's a Connect, it won't be before the launch date at least. What makes you say that, Maxime? Like, why can't they have the AMA and then a Stadia Connect after that? Like, what's your reasoning for that? Caleb Richardson. I don't know if the person I'm talking to would be a secretary for John. I assume that they would be somebody who manages his appearances. Like, okay, you're going to be on this show at this time, and you're going to be talking to this person at that time. So I guess that's a secretary. But secretary, I don't know. I don't know if that's the right way to describe. Eric Boyd, thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate the support. Nordy, will Stadia work with other cross-play games? I mean, when I talked to John last time, they said specifically that they were going to... They want everything to be cross-play. However, that is not on them to make it happen. It's on them to allow developers to do it, but then it's on the developers and the other platform holders to make that happen. So as long as the other platform holders say, yeah, we're fine with it, Google says they're fine with it, then it's on the developer to make a decision whether or not they want to implement it. And a lot of people might say, oh, that's a lot of extra overhead that maybe they don't want to do. The thing that you got to keep in mind is that, sure, that might be a bunch of extra work, but it's not as much as you think. In fact, Rocket League, they turned on crossplay between Xbox and PlayStation by accident at one point. By accident. They didn't mean to do it, and they did it, which is just crazy. And I think I just figured out something that is very useful for me. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pop out chat. I'm going to bring this over here. And we'll see how this works. So Raven, actually, PlayStation recently said that you can do that now. That they're perfectly fine with people doing crossplay now. It was in beta before, which was nonsense. ANA, no, my hardware is not here yet. I will let you guys know as soon as it arrives, without a doubt. All right, I'm gonna have a messed up screen here for just a second while I adjust something. All right, so let me go with, there we go, right here. There, that. Just adjusting. I don't know if I'm going to use this as the overlay or not, but it's an awesome... I just can't stop staring at that hippo. It's so hilarious. Will there be an unboxing video / live stream? Tobias, people said that they wanted me to do so, so that's what I'm going to do. All right. Dale, no, nothing new happened. We're just chatting. I'm trying to decide if I want to record the podcast today and have tomorrow be another just another open chat in order for me to talk about these the strings. In order to talk about the strings, but I haven't decided yet. On a previous video, you said Stadia may innovate gaming in ways we can imagine. What do you think about intelligent conversations in real time, unscripted responses via Google's new voice assistant? Well, okay. Google's voice assistant is pretty good. And if you compare it to everything else, it is way up above there. But I don't think it's quite ready yet. I think that there's a lot more that they need to do in order to make it ready, if that makes sense. Thank you very much for the super chat, Stadia Stream. They said, thanks for all the work you put in to keep us informed. Will we be able to play Stadia on launch day, even if we haven't gotten our hardware? Stadia Stream, that's a great question, and the answer for that is very simple. Yes, if your stuff has shipped. So as soon as your stuff ships, it goes out of the warehouse, they're going to send you an email, and that email is going to have a code, and that code is going to get you your account. And then on the 19th, and I assume that most of us will be racing to get our names on the 19th. On the 19th, you'll be able to log in and play. I believe it's at 9 a.m. Pacific time. I think it's 12 Eastern. Jay Smith says, great question, Ted. I don't see Ted. Oh, Ted Jones. What did Ted Jones ask? On a previous... Oh, I did. I responded to that. Okay. Brian Hunter. I fear something like voice chat integration might quickly become gimmicky quickly. Their chat about the AI to flesh out NPCs and making worlds seem more immersive and more interesting, I think. Well, I mean... The way I look at it is the controller has a microphone built in. And if I'm able to say what's on the screen, so you know how they sometimes will, let's say I'm playing an RPG and I'm having a conversation with an NPC, they'll have these things on the screen and I can say, like, they'll have 3 choices or whatever, and I can read what's on the screen out loud. I could just say what's out loud, like I'm a character talking to it, and Google could listen to that and then have the NPC respond to me. I think that would be cool. Mitch, thank you very much for the birthday wishes, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat as well. Yeah, yesterday was my birthday, and oh my god, you guys got to see this card my mom got me. It was so hilarious. So it says, happy birthday to a guy whose life is one hardcore epic adventure, right? But then, check this out. Actually, let me make sure. All right, check this out. And if you look at it, where is it? This part, like there's a dude kicking an acorn. It's so funny. That made me laugh like a lot. It's heavy too. But that made me laugh. That made me laugh a lot. Do you know if there's a headphone jack on the controller? I don't know if they've asked this already. Yeah, Nordy, they have a headphone jack on the controller. They do. We saw that the very first time. I'm really waiting to see a way that streaming to YouTube is going to work. It's going to be great going live with the click of a button. Yeah, I think that's going to be fantastic. That's one of the reasons I'm so excited about it. My son wants to be a streamer. Like, that's one of the things that he wants to do. He loves watching streamers and stuff like that. And like, how do I say this? It's expensive to be a streamer. It requires pretty large upfront costs. Like, you have to pay a bunch of money for hardware in order to make that happen. And if Google can make that happen with no hardware, because they just send your stream to your viewers at the same time, then that's fantastic. Sam says it looks like Bluetooth headphones will be supported later. I think that they said that. Surround sound via other Google Home smart speakers, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I can see that happening, but that requires the system to know which Google Home smart speakers you have in which places. And that seems really complicated for not much benefit. I think you're better off just throwing on a pair of headphones when you're playing a game, honestly. Dan, I'm so tired, but this is too interesting. I'll tell you what, I had a huge screaming headache. Before we went to the movie, I took some Tylenol, and then it never went away during the movie. And then I got home and I laid down and took a nap. And I still kind of have a little bit of a headache, so I'm talking a little quieter than I usually do. But I understand. I feel your pain, Dan. I feel your pain. Vaxxer, I heard about that emote spam. Yeah, I definitely need to talk about that on the show tomorrow. Or today. I haven't decided what I want to do yet. I don't know if I want to make this show be the podcast today, since I don't have Lloyd either day. Brian Hunter says, I hope you can just record your footage to your YouTube channel so you can edit it later. So not streaming, but recording. Okay, so this kind of leads us into, you know what? Let me bring up the strings. Vaxxer really wants me to record it tomorrow. I just feel like I'm going to be treading a lot of the same stuff 2 days in a row. Well, let's talk about the emote spam for a second. So for those of you that don't know, Vaxxer's probably right. I'm going to go with what Vaxxer says. But emote spam, I guess, so somebody was... Oh, I don't, Elias, I don't really use Facebook, so I can't see it. Can you tweet it at me or something? Like, I have Facebook, but I don't use it. And I haven't logged into it in ages. Jay Smith, yes, that's what I mean by strings. So I guess somebody was spamming emotes on a YouTube live stream, and Google went absolutely crazy. Like, they went bananas and just banned their Google account. Now, that's how it looks right now. And that has some pretty significant implications for that particular person. Like, what if they're a what if that's their account that they use to sign up to pay for bills and things like that for their email? Like, what if they need that account to do all of the things that you have to do as a human adult in the world, for them to ban their, like, to delete their Google account seems pretty intense. And I completely disagree with it. That seems like a horrible idea. And that, as a punishment for spamming emotes, apparently, according to Vaxxer, the streamer asked people to spam emotes, and which is not unheard of. I've told people spam your favorite emotes in my chat before. I think that it's okay for Google to say, okay, you can no longer send emotes, or you can no longer use YouTube, but to take away their Google account, that seems crazy to me. If somebody took away my personal email address, if Google canceled the email address that I had since Gmail came out back in 2004, holy cow. Like, that would be devastating, because that has so much important information for me. And I don't see how it makes a lot of sense. Now, what we don't know is what other things that particular person did. Like, they may have done a bunch of other stuff, and maybe this wasn't the last straw or something, but maybe this is what they're saying happened because of it. Does that make sense? Oh, it was over 1,000 people. What? Over 1,000 people? I didn't realize that. Wow. Yeah, I can't believe that they would do that. That's just crazy to me. Like, if my email address disappeared, we would have trouble paying bills. And it just shows you how dependent we are on our email. And it makes me want to say, all right, maybe and yes, I have a personal email. I have an email for this show. I have an email for my other show. I have an email for my other show. I have an email that is just Run, Jump, Stomp. Like, I have a bunch of different emails. So that wouldn't happen to me. But it's scary. That is really, really scary. So that's interesting. And we'll talk more about that on the show tomorrow. X2i, do you think perhaps that Stadia will allow streamers to utilize Google Ads and their YouTube live streams while they are playing in some way? Food for thought. Well, I mean, right now, you guys, I don't know how it works, but I know that the ads work through YouTube right now. And if you're streaming from Stadia, you stream on YouTube, it's going to be exactly the same. What if you had films purchased on Google Play Movies? I wonder how that would sit legally, since that content you have purchased. Well, Brian, legally, Google has an out. They can, at any point, they can say, I'm sure that it's in the terms of service. At any point, they can say, we can cancel your account at any time if you break our terms of service. And I'm sure that they wouldn't do it if it wasn't legal. Does that make it right? No. But I'm sure that they are within their legal legal rights to do so. If for no other reason, then we all skim past the terms of service on every account that we make. Although there have been times like court appearances court cases where the court has come down, in the US at least, in favor of the user who did not read that because they're not a lawyer and nobody would read that. You know what I mean? So I think that that's something else to keep in mind. Rump I still do not have my Founders Edition. It looks like nobody does. Nobody has their Founders Edition. Elias, were you able to send that to my Twitter? I'm gonna check. Oh my gosh, I got 19 notifications on Twitter. I'm gonna look at mentions. Ah, okay, they did. All right, here we go. You guys want to see this? So there you go. Verfolgen, DHL sending. Der VSL Zukental kann nicht angezeigt werden. Status. Descending word. Electronisch. I don't know what this says. I'm assuming it's a shipment notification. And it looks like it is going to be delivered. It was shipped on November 8th. So it shipped yesterday for you at 3:37 p.m. So that is very interesting. Thank you very much for sharing that, Elias. Whoops. Sorry for my horrible reading of German, a language which I've never taken a class in. So you'll have to forgive me. Not shipped. Elias says it's not shipped. What does that mean? Oh, the label is created. All right, there we go. Dan, hey Bill, can we expect Stadia Pro free games every month or over a bigger time span? Google has stated that they expect that we will be doing a free game. They said a free game every month, but they kind of covered their butts a little bit with their wording. So I anticipate that we will get at least one free game each month, but they are not required to do so by their wording, if that makes sense. Do I think YouTube live stream support will be there at launch? Yes, I do, Maxime. I anticipate that you're going to be able to hit that button and you're going to be able to stream right then. Which I think is going to be cool. There's going to be a lot more people streaming out there. Now, unfortunately, it will be low quality streams. And by low quality, I don't mean what it looks like. I mean that it won't have a nice camera like this. It won't have a nice overlay. It's probably won't have a good microphone. Like all of that is very important to the experience of watching a stream. Now, having a camera is not super important, but I think it draws a lot of people in. People like to be able to see the person that they're hearing talking, and I feel like a camera is important. There's of course exceptions to every rule. There are many streamers out there who get by just fine without having a camera. But what I think is the most important is that microphone. And there's going to be a lot of people who are just using, I mean, this is, they're just going to be using headphone microphones plugged into their controller. And it's going to sound like crap. It's going to sound real bad. And I'm not going to watch. Like, if I show up to a stream and if they have bad audio, I'm out. I'm done. I will not watch a show that has bad audio. Rumpitude and Grand Theft Auto 6, how will we party chat? Well, they have mentioned party stuff. In fact, if we go here, let me bring this up for you guys. Where is it? Strings. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm on the wrong screen or the wrong account to see this. So let me bring this up. Dang it. Let me request access. And then I got to open up my other account because this is on my Run Jump Stomp Google Drive. And let me open up my email. Open sharing settings. Send. Close. 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 Go back to runjumpstomp.com. Scroll down. All right. And let's try opening this again. And we can zoom in. All right, there we go. So, damn it, I forgot what the hell you asked. What did you ask? Something about the strings. Oh yeah, party chat. GTA 6. How will we party chat? So in here. Oh, it's not finding it. There was a string about party chat in here. Ah, here we go. So check this out. That's the wrong button. Here we go. It says parties are for playing games and chatting together. This is a text on the banner informing that we will soon release the parties feature. So while I do think we're going to have voice chat at first, we won't have party chat at first. And the difference between voice chat and party chat is, and I just realized I'm not on the screen here. Let me add a scene. Is it face cam? There we go. The difference between just voice chat and party chat is with party chat, you can talk to people who are in a different game than you. So we're in a party. I'm playing GTA 6. You're playing Red Dead Redemption 2, and we can still talk to each other. And it looks like this is saying they will soon release the parties feature. This is from that list of strings that were pulled out of the APK for the Stadia app. Hey there, Jem. Sorry for not communicating much. I'm listening in the background as I work. Listen, man. Do your job. That's what you're paid for. You can always watch this after the fact. By the way, if you all could do me a favor and click the like button, it would be awesome, and it would definitely help us out. Will Stadia have a UI? How do you select games? Okay, we're going to go right back to this this set of strings, and I'll talk about more of these tomorrow. Where was it? Key label, no. Keyboard and mouse, no. Ah, here we go. It's across 2 pages, so I apologize. Here, let's take a look. It says here, from now on, tuning on your Stadia controller will launch Stadia on this TV. This could take up to 30 seconds. So what we're going to get in the future, I anticipate, is that once you set that up, and this might be why the Stadia controller will only work wirelessly on the Chromecast, is because they're trying to make it so that you don't have to use a third device in order to do stuff when you want to play it on your TV. So you walk up, you pick up your controller, you hit the Stadia button, it turns on, then it turns on your TV, and it brings up the UI. You can see the games that you have, and you can start playing right there. We know that they're going to have a UI that you can control using the controller. You're not going to have to use the phone or anything else. And this kind of explains why It's wireless only on TV, if that makes sense. That's a good question. Thank you for the question. I'm getting, my watch is exploding. Let me just. So hold on. Let me. People are requesting access to that file, and I'm just gonna hold on to that because that's not all of the strings. So Stadia App strings, and the number 1500. All right, here we go. Copy and paste. There you go. So that's all 1500 strings. I read through every single one. I think it's not formatted in the easiest way, but I read through them and I looked for ones that I found to be the most interesting. So hopefully that is useful to you guys. When implemented, how will trophies work for games that will be released after the trophy system launches? Well, after the trophy system launches, then it would work just like it would on any other system. Brian, when you stream, will you plug your Chromecast into a capture card? Or will you use a window to capture a streaming program? I'm probably going to try it multiple ways. I may just record my desktop, if that makes sense. I may just record my desktop and stream that way. That way I can do overlays and stuff like this that looks really cool. But if they're like, I was talking to John and he said specifically that they want to let us send our camera and microphone high quality stuff. We want to send all that stuff to Google and have them put that on top of the game, which I think is fantastic. Are we not able to screenshot and stream basic at launch? I believe we are, Warlord Gaming. I don't see why we wouldn't be. I assume we are. By the way, if you guys could do me a favor, this would be huge. All right, I'm gonna tweet out right now that open mic. Come join the open mic with Bill with at Run Jump Stomp. We're talking at Google Stadia. Tweet. And I'm going to copy a link to this tweet. If any of you use Twitter and you could retweet this tweet, that would be really awesome. You know, tell your friends about the stream. Oh, and that reminds me, I should probably post it in the Discord, which Discord is not running for some reason. I didn't realize Discord was closed. Google just launched Google Play Points system on the Play Store the other day. I think that might be tied to Stadia's trophy system at launch. Interesting. I'm just looking to make sure it's not been posted yet. Let me make sure I share this stream with people. And there we go. All right, I can minimize that now. Do you expect a Connect event before the launch? Simon, I think... I don't know if I expect one, but if I were in charge at all, I would do a Connect the day of launch and have the Connect end at launch time. So people are watching it, and then bam, they can play. What is going to be the first thing you guys will do once you have access to Stadia? I'm either going to be playing Destiny 2 or Guilt first, and I haven't decided which one I want to play first. Both games, like Destiny 2, I know is going to be really, really fun. Like it looks like a really fun game, but Guilt looks scary and not gross, and I like that. So I might be playing that one. You know what I probably will do is I'll log into Destiny 2 and create the Stadiacast clan, or whatever they call them, guild. So that way people can join up. Fabian says, greetings from Germany. Well, greetings, Germany. Bill, you mean clan? Whatever it is where you're grouped with other people in Destiny 2. As I haven't played Destiny 2, so I don't know. I know in a lot of shooter games it's called a clan. In most MMOs they call it a guild. In Final Fantasy they call it a FC, which I forget what that stands for. If so, could I join? Everybody's welcome to join. If you want to join, you're welcome to join. But I do have pretty strict rules about, being polite and keeping chat clean. You think the next free game is new or semi-old? I anticipate that it'll be semi-old. And that's how I describe myself, by the way. But, that's what we get on Xbox. That's what we get on PlayStation. Most of those games are older games that are, they're not brand new. Whereas, although, Xbox Game Pass, like they have that thing where you get all of the new games. I don't anticipate Stadia being anything like that. Stadia Pro, anyway. I do think that it would be in Google's best interest to have a more expensive version of Stadia Pro that unlocks games the same way that Xbox Game Pass does. I think that's a good idea. I think Xbox is doing a good thing with that. Hopefully that makes sense. Rump, I answered a question about crossplay earlier. You can go ahead and rewind. Ryan is looking forward to Guilt. Yeah, I think that game looks great. Arc Zero says, do I think Stadia will change the gaming industry and how? I absolutely think it's going to change the gaming industry, but not by itself. A combination of Stadia and xCloud and all these other streaming services, that is going to be a huge change to the video game industry overall, because people are going to realize sooner rather than later, I think, that having a powerful computer or a big machine stuck in your house is not super important when you also have the ability, when you can just do it with a stream. Thanks for the sub, Ron. Super Nintendo says, I got my name Stadia on Twitter. Ready to rock. Nice job, Super Nintendo Dad. And Vaxxer, thanks for stopping in, man. It was good to see you. Get some sleep. Pet the dog. PlayStation gives away pretty good games on PS Plus in the last months. They have. That has turned into me logging in each month on my PlayStation, collecting those licenses, and never downloading those games and playing them because my PlayStation is full. I just don't have any room for them, and so I never play those games. And I've got a terabyte in this because this is a PS4 Pro. I think it's a terabyte. I'm 99% sure it's a terabyte. And I just don't have room because a lot of the games that I play are huge. What do you think of the integration of Google Assistant and Stadia, and do you think it will be useful? I think it's going to be fantastic. But I think people won't use it very much at first because most games won't be built to support it. Thank you very much for the sub. I didn't see your name. I apologize. Actually, let me bring up Stream Elements. And look at my activity feed. And turn off the filter. We'll turn on the subscribers as well. Sam, thank you very much for the sub. Raphael, you missed so much. But guess what? You can rewind. You can rewind and watch at 1.5 times, and then the really, really slow way at which I talk will be like a normal person talking. Stadia Crew says, I'm the best. Thank you, Stadia Crew. Do you think the assistant and the controller will be exclusive for gaming stuff? It is going to be exclusive for Stadia stuff. I believe that's been answered. I believe that Google has answered that question. What does delivery before 21 to 22 November mean? I hope it comes in on time. I don't know what it means. Rump, using the app now really doesn't do anything. It's basically a wallpaper. I don't know why I cannot get this to work. What question do you want Stadia to say on November 13th? What question do I want people to say? I mean, there's tons of questions. Super Nintendo, I think it would be smart if they continue to roll out new games on Stadia each week so that way people will be checking out the games and Stadia each day/week. I mean, nobody's going to complain that there's too many games, except for probably me. Because I'll be like, I can't keep up. You know? Let me open up this in the editor. Widgets. Bill and Stadia community, I'm sad to say I have to sleep because it's 11 p.m. and I have a test week in 2 days. It was tons of fun today. I'll probably be here tomorrow. See you next time. See you later, Dan. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Let me close this. That's not useful. When I register, do I have to use the same email as the email purchased the Founders Edition? No. When you have the app open, there's a button that says that you can switch to a different account. But when you do make that decision, you got to make sure you're using the one that you want to use. Colneur says, "What is with the lack of competitive FPS titles with all players being run by Google? You can good hit reg and not hackers. Bill. I don't know. I don't know what you're saying, man. I'll answer the first part because the second part makes no sense to me. But the first part says, why aren't there some competitive first-person shooter titles? I'm sure that those will come. You just got to be patient. Do I think Baldur's Gate 3 will be turn-based or real-time? I think it's going to be turn-based. It'll be a lot like Divinity Original Sin and the older Baldur's Gate games. We talked about them a little. Is there a specific string that you want to discuss? Nireki? Let me look. So if you look at the list of strings, we'll talk about it right now for this particular thing. One of the strings in there says, on click, navigate a user to the Play Store or App Store so they can update their app. So there's that. I don't know that means that we'll be using the Google Play Store, but that I think that's just saying, hey, this is going to update so that you must be updated. I don't know if you're going to use your Google Play money for that, if that makes any sense. Victor says, I'm still downloading and installing to my Xbox. I won't miss it. I did not discuss that string. It wouldn't hurt to discuss it now. So where was it? Concurrent? All right, here we go. So check this out. It says here, message used in the family max concurrently modal. What that, and then right down here it says modal pop-up title indicating the family max concurrency was reached. So apparently, once the family plan is out there, they're going to have a certain number of... There we go. Now we can see it. They'll have a certain number of people who can play at the same time. Does that mean we can play the same game at the same time? I don't know. But that's very, very interesting. And if you go past that number, then they're going to say, oh, no, you're cut off. You can't have 7 people playing the game at the same time. Though, what I hope that what I think would be great is, if there's a family plan, then you start out with, you can have 5 people playing. And if you go past that, then you can say, okay, let's add one more person to your family plan. Because what if you have 7 kids or whatever, and they all want to play Destiny 2 together? I don't know how big parties are in Destiny 2. I'm just using that as an example because I know that it is on... Oh, here's a better example. Let's say that you have 7 kids, and they all want to play Elder Scrolls Online together and do a raid together. It would be nice if Google would allow you to increase the size of your family by just paying a little extra. I think that would make a lot of sense. Arc Zero, do you foresee any security issues with gaming on the cloud? I think that most security issues will go away because hackers don't have access to the actual machine that's running the game. I think that Warlord Gaming says, I'm curious what Stadia's policy is on loot boxes, as PlayStation and Xbox are making you discuss odds. I think that Google will probably follow suit with that. I think that Google will probably follow suit with that. Well, Nirike, we don't know how it works. Like right now, so my entire family has access to Apple TV Plus. Everybody. Because I got a year of it for free because I bought a new phone. So that means everybody in my family gets to watch those shows. That must be profitable for them at that price, or they wouldn't do it. And I'm sure that it would work the same way with Google Stadia. And you also have to remember, not as many people are going to do that. In a previous Stadiacast, you showed a screenshot with social links from the Stadia app, and that screenshot was a Discord logo. Is there any news on which Discord channel that is? Yes, it is discord.gg/Stadia is now the official Stadia, or the official Discord of the Stadia subreddit. So apparently that's where that's going to go. And I've actually been a part of that Discord for ages now, and I didn't know. I didn't know that it was going to be the official one. You don't need to. They could just type it in, Raven, but go ahead if you want. New Rainbow Six on Stadia? I don't see why not. How do you think the discounts for the Pro subscription will work? I think it'll be very similar to the way it works on PlayStation right now. So, for instance, if... Actually, let me look through the strings and see if there's a discount. All right, so if you look right here, it says there's a header for a Stadia Pro page section that is advertising that you get access to discounted games with the subscription. So there you go. All right, what will that mean? I think it means that some games will be slightly cheaper. How much cheaper? I don't know. But also, when games are on sale, I bet you that there'll be a one sale price and a separate sale price for people who are Stadia Pro subscribers. Stadia Crew says, new MLB game on Stadia. Every sports here will love this game. Doesn't Sony have the exclusive rights to the show, and isn't the show like the only MLB game? Wonder if Discord used the chat function since non-founders have the numbers after. I mean, SofaSpy, I highly doubt that Discord is integrated into Stadia. That's just a thing that people are doing so that you can have the name that you want. String 1179 seems to say that only Stadia CCUs will be able to run at launch, with an update later to other CCUs. Is this your interpretation as well? Trying to find it. I would need to know what the actual string says. Raphael, can you change your founder's name later? I don't believe so. Kulnor, we don't know if we have no idea if Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to be 60 frames per second or 30 frames per second. But right now, if you want to run Red Dead Redemption 2 at 60 frames per second. I hope you have a $500 graphics card in your PC. Can only do so much. How am I liking Luigi's Mansion 3? It's cool. 1179. This Chromecast Ultra isn't ready to use with Stadia, but updates are on the way. Please use the Chromecast Ultra that came with your Stadia controller for now. Oh, okay. Yeah, so it seems like the ones that come with Stadia will have certain firmware on them, and we'll have to update our firmware to get... That makes perfect sense. So I wonder how long it's going to take to roll out that firmware. That's a big question. I hope that it's right away. This Chromecast Ultra. Let me add that to my list of things to talk about tomorrow. Thank you very much. Yeah, I want to talk about that. Parties, play, paste. Got it. That's good information. Thank you. 10% is the standard discount across EA Access, Xbox Gold, and PS Plus, so I expect Stadia Pro to be the same with deeper discounts on offer during sale periods as per Xbox and PS4 as well. That's exactly what I think. Martin. Fabian, did I play Death Stranding? No, I don't care. I'm not interested in that game at all. Rump, how good will Stadia be up until the official launch in March? Well, I mean, we're all calling this a soft launch. I don't think Google sees it as a soft launch myself. How good will it be? Your guess is as good as mine. I believe it's going to be great. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here talking about it. Anything in the strings regarding steering wheels? No, I didn't see anything in there. There is a lot of stuff in the strings about accessibility. Audio message indicating that the accessibility screen reader has been turned on, has been turned off. And a header for text describing types of accessibility features supported by games such as captions and remappable controls. A header for text describing the types of input supported by games such as controller and mouse and keyboard. Doesn't say anything about steering wheel. Oh, yes it is. Look at this. There you go. Peripheral controllers / gamepads such as a steering wheel can be used as input for this game. So it looks like it does support that. Although I mean, when I talked to John Justice, he said specifically, you can use any controller you want on Google Stadia if you're playing on a PC. What are your expectations on Stadia at launch? No noticeable latency, no lag, no blurry images? No, I don't think that that's possible, Mohammed. I think that it's possible to get it low enough latency, low enough artifacing. I don't know how to say that. That for me, I won't care. And as far as look, is it better to have super expensive hardware in your house hooked up to a fantastic screen? Of course. But Stadia is not for the people who do that. Stadia is for the people who want to play on their crappy computer that they haven't upgraded in 6 years, but they still want to play these cool games. And they haven't been able to because they don't want to spend the money to upgrade their computer every year install more RAM or get another CPU or add in a new graphics card. So do I expect it to be perfect? No. But I expect it to be good enough? Absolutely. Okay, cool, Nora. That's fine. You can say that, and maybe you're right. But do you have any evidence that suggests that? That's my question. PJ Veritex says, I can't wait for the game streaming so the game industry has complete control over my hobby. If I make someone mad, game overlords can just cut me off for being a bad boy. You're right, they can. In fact, you can get banned on Stadia. It says right in here, banned. This player, the player is banned for using the feature due to abusive behaviors. Suspended. It looks like you violated our terms of service, so your Stadia account was suspended. I think that's good. Stop being a jerk. And I'm not talking to you particularly. I'm talking to the jerks out there. Stop being a jerk, and you won't get banned. I mean, that's just how it goes. Do you think they will introduce Stadia on the standard Chromecast running at 1080? I don't know. My guess is that the standard Chromecast probably, because it was so old, they probably can't deal with the new codecs, and I don't know if we're going to get a firmware update down the lines for that. Any battle royale games in Stadia at launch? Not so far, Ice Cube, but hopefully soon. Anthony Talcott, when and where will the Destiny 2 group be? The first time that I launched Destiny 2, I don't know how Destiny 2 works, so I don't know if a brand new character can make a group, but I'll make one as soon as I can. And I'll let everybody know how to join that, both here on the YouTube channel and in the Discord. Raphael, I think he's talking about like my Stadia. I'm sorry, my Destiny 2 group. I think that's what they're referring to. Evidence 1. 2080 has trouble running 4K 60 for Red Dead Redemption 2. 2. Google is not using multiple instances per game at launch. 3. Dev tweeted out some games may run 30 frames per second natively for artistic reasons. Okay. I think that's all. I can't think of the word. What is the word I'm trying to think of? No, it starts with a C, whatever the word is. I can't remember. Coincidental, I guess. Look, only time will tell. And if the game runs at 30 frames per second, I really don't care. I mean, look, you can keep harping on it all you want. I'm not even going to play Red Dead Redemption 2, so I don't care. And I'm here to talk about things that are exciting to me. So we can move on. Let's take a second and thank Live Network for the super chat. Just an FYI, you can make a clan now at bungie.net. Really? So I'm at bungie.net. And I would have to sign in. Stadia. But I don't have a Stadia account yet. Okay, yeah, I'm not doing that right now. I will wait. And if we don't get the name that I want, then it's not a big deal. Do the controllers have a rumble feature? Jerome, they do. They do. In fact, so where is it? Show. This game offers options to clearly distinguish targets from other objects using indicators like symbols, vibration, and text labels. Body for vibration check screen, letting user know why the controller is vibrating. Title for vibration check screen. So we know that the controller does have vibration built in. Where am I from? I'm from New York. Do you have a nickname or something? Do I have a nickname? People just call me Bill. Morgan, you pre-ordered Stadia just yesterday. Will they send the code on the 19th? They're going to send the codes in the order that they ship them. And if I wouldn't expect to get your code on the 19th if you ordered it yesterday. Eric Eric says, hopefully Red Dead Redemption 2 has horses in it because that will give the system extra horsepower to run the games. Of course. I mean, look, here, let's find Stampede. Look at all the horsepower in this game. Let me mute this. I remember playing this game many... Why is it not playing? There we go. I remember playing this game a bunch when I was a kid. Stampede. Look at all... It's got a horse. It's got cow. Little calves. You can capture with your lasso. So this is Red Dead Redemption on my computer. I know. I'm a jerk. 4K 30 is only for console. Thanks for the as a founder I was, oh my god, it's going too fast. As a founder I was advertised 4K 60 on Google. Sad, I put up with the input lag for high-end super PC experience. Thanks for the input, Bill. All right, well, you know, if it's not something that's for you, then cancel your pre-order, man. Don't buy it now. Just wait. You can get it next year and try it for free. And if it's not up to your standards, then you can sink all of your money into a very, very beefy computer and enjoy it the way that you want it. And thank you very much for the super chat. Love the content and dedication, Bill. Thank you, Kolnor. Carlos Ponte. Your name sounds like an old Western character. But Carlos, will there be a Stadia Cast episode tomorrow? There will. We're going to talk about these strings. We're going to talk about all these strings tomorrow. There's 1,500 of them. Obviously, we won't talk about them all tomorrow. And see you later, Garvin. And we're also going to talk about the fact that whole banning thing, which is really iffy. Order Stadia after Bill does a review. There you go. Although you know what? Don't order Stadia after I do a review. Is there a Stadia Discord? There is an official Discord, but I recommend that you go to my Discord, which is runjumpstomp.com/Discord. But as I was about to say, don't take my word for stuff as far as framiness and things like that, because I just don't notice that stuff very often. When I play a game, it doesn't really affect me if it doesn't have the best frame rate. I just don't notice it. It doesn't affect me if it doesn't have the best resolution. I just don't notice it. So that's something to keep in mind when I start talking about games. I might say, hey, this game looks really good. And to you, that might be unacceptable. So that's just something to know about me. I just don't notice bad frame rates and things like that. Tyler Kalafke says, I've been watching your channel for a few months now, and your content is great. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Morgan, they are going to send you a code via email. But you don't have to keep saying the same thing, Morgan. You know, if I don't respond once, it's not because okay, it's most likely because I didn't see it, but don't keep saying the same thing over and over. Like, YouTube might ban you for that. You never know. State share has nothing to do with autosave. You're right, it doesn't, but state share... Okay. I love that you just said that, Eric. So there was a question that somebody asked a while ago. Not today, but a while back. Somebody asked a question somewhere along the lines of, how will saving your game work? Because on PlayStation, on Nintendo Switch, and I don't know about Xbox, but probably on Xbox as well, if I just hit the home button and turn the console not off but to sleep, it just remembers where I was the next time that I log in. And because Stadia has to let somebody else play on that blade, then they have to get rid of that. But when you hit a button, they can say, do you want to do a state share so that you can remember where you were last time? And you could say yes, then that might solve that problem. That's awesome. I want to... That's really good. It seems like Steam will do cloud gaming as well. What do you think about it? Well, Zap, I think... I can't call you Zap because I have a very good friend who's called Zap, and it's going to be confusing to me, so I'm going to call you Zabadix. And if I pronounced it wrong, I apologize. But Zabadix, I think that that's very interesting. I don't see them doing it as good as Stadia because they have not been in the business of making video work on the internet for very long. I mean, every time that I have tried to use Google, or not Google, what is it called? Steam Broadcast. They had a broadcast feature where they were trying to compete with Twitch for a little while. It's always been kind of clunky, and every time I've tried to watch it, it hasn't worked. So, do I think that they can compete? Maybe eventually, but they're not going to be... They have a very different advantage in the fact that people already have huge Steam libraries. That's one distinct advantage that they have. Can they get the video part right? That's the real question. And that question is completely flip-flopped for Google. Here's what I'm going to do, everybody. We've been talking for an hour and a half, and my water, all gone. So I'm going to run downstairs and grab another water, and when I come back, hopefully you guys are still here, and we can continue having this discussion. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Thanks for being patient, everybody. Let's see. I wonder if Amazon will be entering the game streaming market in 2020. Honestly, I don't know why they haven't already. You know, they have Twitch. They already sell games. They're good at streaming video. I don't see why they wouldn't do it. Can't wait. In June, it seems so far away now. It's November. I really like the look of the Wasabi controller. Yeah, if there's anybody that can compete with Google with game streaming, it is 100% Amazon. Is Stadiacast going to be your main source of game reviews, or will you have a different channel? Well, I have multiple channels already. Thank you very much, Epic Stream Man, for the birthday wishes. Yes, it was a fun birthday. My wife got me some awesome sneakers. She got me some Vans, which I love. Like, these are cool looking. Sorry, I had to pull up my sock. I have another YouTube channel, youtube.com/runjumpstomp. If you guys could all go subscribe to that, that would be awesome. But very few people watch anything over there. And things that I post over here get watched all the time. But this is Stadiacast, so I feel awkward talking about non-Stadia stuff on this channel. And I would like... I've always wanted to be able to talk about gaming as a whole. Like, that's something that I've always wanted to be able to do, but I kind of pigeonholed myself with Nintendo Switchcraft. I pigeonholed myself with Stadiacast. And I would like to be able to talk about other stuff in the gaming industry where my biggest audience is, which is, I think, here. And although Switchcraft has a huge audience that's been downloaded over 1 million times. But on YouTube, it's a little easier to get new people to check stuff out because it's YouTube. It's not a podcast. So I would love to be able to talk about the gaming industry as a whole here. I think it's going to take time before I can really talk about it or tackle that. And we'll see how this channel goes. Like, let me ask a question. Would you guys be interested in having me talk about non-Stadia stuff here on this channel? Tyler says yes. Give it some time and then merge the smaller shows into this one. Do a poll. I will do a poll, but not yet. I'm going to wait. This is definitely going to be focused on... this is definitely going to be focused on Stadia for now. Is there a Run Jump Stomp YouTube channel for that? There is. But nobody uses it. Like, it has like 2,000 subscribers, and most of my videos over there get like 60 views. Which clearly shows you that I don't do this for the views. I do this because it's fun. Eleventh Cucumber says, I think the channel name is not reliable. That's true. What big name dev do you think will be the first to make a Stadia exclusive? Ubisoft. I think Ubisoft would be the first one. Rename the channel in 2020 Stadiacast Run Jump Stomp. Why did I choose Run Jump Stomp as a name? Because it's easy to remember and it's the 3 things that Mario does. Isn't Guilt an exclusive? It is. I think that they were talking about things that we don't know about already. I'm pretty sure it's an exclusive. Nightstar76, thank you very much for the super chat. Thank you for the support. All right. Well, you, my friend, have just earned yourself that. I think maybe they'll get some smaller indie teams to make exclusive than they could get free pro games. I'm more interested in what first party stuff is going on with Jade Raymond and the Stadia Games and Entertainment, or SGE. What's the other exclusive? Orcs Must Die, right? Well, that's not real. That's a timed exclusive. That's not only on Stadia. That's only on Stadia at first. Christopher is pretty pumped to see what free games are coming to Stadia. I'm interested. If you have a title to make it clear, Gamescast time, and talk about gaming in general, why not? It would be clear for everyone. That's true. I could come up with like its own art and stuff like that. That's a really good point, Klaus. I'll have to consider that. It's not going to be anything anytime soon. It's going to be after this is more established. Free games on Stadia standard is going to be the challenge when the game is real. I do really hope that we do get free-to-play games on Stadia. Like, they still haven't really announced it, although at the same time, Destiny 2 is kind of a free-to-play game. Any news on the JJ interview? No, I haven't heard back yet, which is really irritating. I think Orcs Must Die 3 looks fantastic. That is definitely going to be a game that I'm going to buy. And I'm not really a tower defense guy, but it looks really good. Is Stadia already implementing negative latency, or is that coming later? Well, negative latency, they should never have said negative latency. Basically, they're doing things that are really, really cool. Like, what is it called? Late stage frame capture or something like that. I can't remember. Where they've already rendered the frame and they're sending it to you, and then you've given them more input, so then they slightly change the frame before it gets to you. And that's late frame something projection or something like that. And Google foolishly called it negative latency, which then everybody is like, Google, you know what I mean? Right, 11th Cucumber, time travel. Soundwave is right that there's a lot that they can do with the computers that they have in the cloud, which is very, very because their hardware is so fast, they can do a lot of stuff that you just can't do elsewhere, and that actually allows them to reduce latency. Did they, Eric? That's interesting. Do you think the people who ordered the Premier Edition will be able to play on the 19th? I doubt it. Made in ZA. I don't think they will be able to. Eric Johnson, I don't think I agree with that. I think it's just it's a stupid name, even though it's, I'm sure, an accurate name. It's reducing the latency, and when you reduce latency, that is in fact negative. But people who don't understand how it works, most of us, like they think that Google is trying to do one of those stupid Apple things, like the Retina display, how they name things. Martin, it says it doesn't sound too crazy. If an enemy pops up out of cover, they can predict you're going to shoot, for an example, or in approaching a platform, they can predict you're going to jump. That's true. And the reason that this will work is because their hardware is so powerful that they can render a bunch of different frames. They can say, all right, we're gonna run this frame, we're gonna render this frame, this frame, this frame, and this frame, and this frame, all at the same time, and then when you hit the button, send the correct frame to you. Billy, thank you very much for the super chat, and thank you to whoever just subs. I think it was Alicia or something, but I appreciate it. By the way, if you're here and you haven't hit that like button, go ahead and do that, and if you haven't clicked the bell, please do so. It definitely helps out. Martin, that's exactly what I was just saying. That's right. Do we know the current latency on Stadia? Tyler, we do not know the exact number, but the guys at Digital Foundry did some analysis, and they said it was equivalent to having an Xbox in the room. Alberto, thank you very much for the sub. Oh, you were typing it as I said it? Nice. All right, let's look at the I'm going to look at the top questions I want answered in the AMA. I'll give you one. One question that I want answered in the AMA. And that would be, can I stream to branded YouTube channels? So for instance, can I stream to Run Jump Stomp one day and then tomorrow stream on Stadiacast? That's the number one question that I want answered because I'm a streamer. You know? Hi, Veronica. Thanks for watching. Jerome is asking about EA Sports. We don't know. Hope so. Not for me, because I don't care about sports games, but We'll see. Do you think they will clear up issues with the AMA or just dodge the touchy questions? I don't know. I don't know. I hope they will answer the questions that are asked, but they can simply just skip over the questions that they don't have a good answer for. She says thank you. Well, then she's got very good manners. Are you afraid it might be linked to a single YouTube channel? I am Cohen Hendricks. I am afraid that it will be linked to a single YouTube channel. As somebody who has multiple YouTube channels, I really would like to be able to stream in multiple places. They've already said they aren't going to answer the shipping question. There's no shipping question to answer anymore because somebody tweeted at, I think his name is, it's not Alex, is it? Well, let me bring up Reddit. Reddit.com/r/Stadia. It starts with an A. What's this guy's name? Audrey. Yeah. So somebody tweeted at Audrey, when will it start shipping? And his response was, it will start shipping on the 19th. It will start shipping on the 19th. So that's the day it's going to happen. Epic. Bill, you can just play Stadia on your PC through Chrome and stream it with OBS wherever you want, right? Yes, I can, but that also requires that I have the bandwidth that I have now. It also requires that I have a beefy PC in order to encode those frames and send them. And it also means that those frames will be capped at 6,000 kilobits per second. Well, probably 9,000 kilobits per second. Those frames will be 1080p, 60 frames per second. And so it's not going to be, it won't be as good as it would be otherwise. However, I'll probably end up doing that anyway, just because then I can have my face on it. Can we be honest? That is kind of a mistake by Google. Do you think that they weren't prepared for their own launch? I do think that they are prepared for their own launch. I think that their messaging was not prepared. We all assumed that we would have our stuff before launch. What they should have done is they should have communicated better. We had certain expectations, and they failed to meet our expectations. And that's because the only reason we had expectations is because they didn't give us enough information. Luxem, I understand what you're saying, but if you want to have a good, solid stream, like, first off, you have to remember that if I'm playing on my computer and I'm capturing my computer and sending it out at 1080p, 60 frames per second, sending out at 1080p, 60 frames per second does require a pretty beefy computer. It really does. It also requires a lot of bandwidth for your upload. So that means it's going to be very limited for a lot of people. Jason Curtis, thank you very much for the adorable super sticker. That thing is cute. Stuart, there's an old maxim which I think applies here. Never under, and if Google, if you're watching, I'm not calling you stupid. I'm just saying the old saying, if that makes sense. Never attribute to malice what you can attribute to ignorance or something like that. Google is not used to dealing with video game players. And I think that's really the crux of it, is that they're bad at communication. It's not that they are being malicious. It's that they They're inexperienced with dealing with this particular subset of the industry. Are there any strings that talk about streaming to YouTube or Twitch? Let me look. So we've got one here. Thank you very much for the super chat. I will look at that in a second. And I just realized that my face cam is too high up. There we go. So title of a modal dialogue confirming switch from Stadia to YouTube. Title of restricted feature. User is prohibited from linking their YouTube channel for sharing gameplay. Probably if they're underage or something like that. No, not that. YouTube channel for sharing gameplay. YouTube sharing is disabled. And button label to open the YouTube Cast app. Games that are popular on YouTube. Label directing the user to use YouTube app control. Using the YouTube app to control the videos so that they are about to view on their Chromecast. And turn their controller back on when ready to use Stadia. So there are some YouTube strings on there. You are absolutely not going to see Twitch strings in there because that is direct competition to Google Stadia and YouTube. Nick Strong says, your Stadia coverage has been amazing to watch. I think I owe you this for the sheer amount of content I have consumed. Well, Nick Strong, thank you very much for the $10 super chat. It is amazing that you are willing to support the channel at that level. I really appreciate it. Well, YouTube Gaming, they kind of have taken that and folded it into YouTube itself. So now if you go to gaming.youtube.com, it takes you back to YouTube. Which I can understand that, but what they need to do, you know, if you go to youtube.com, on the left-hand side, on here, my face is in the way. All right, on the left-hand side over here, they have home, trending, subscriptions, originals. This needs to have a Stadia button right here at the top so that you can watch live stuff, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Put that back. Why does it keep doing that? I think Google's going to do the cloud gaming better, but it seems they can't touch Amazon on the shipping. It's going to be a fierce cloud gaming matchup. Well, I mean, you're right. Nobody matches Amazon with the shipping because they have warehouses everywhere. Yours is supposed to ship on the 27th to the 2nd. I don't even load it up and look anymore. I'm just gonna come home one day and be surprised that it's sitting here on the doorstep. Cohen Hendricks says, I really want to buy the mobile controller clip shown in the tested interview. I get you. There's going to be hundreds of those. You're going to be able to get one, without a doubt. Nick is getting his on the 27th. I can hear my wife in the kitchen clattering around, so we're probably going to be having dinner soon. So I'm going to wrap up the stream here shortly. So if you have any last minute questions that you want me to talk about, get those questions in quickly, and I will answer all of those, and then we'll wrap up. What features they showcased you don't think will be on at launch? Oh. I think we'll have all of that stuff at launch. Everything that they've shown us. It's other stuff that we're waiting for, like the family plan and stuff like that. Like, that stuff is going to take time. Kaon says, my question, are you excited? I am excited. I am super excited for Stadia. Are you going to get a Stadia symbol for collar for Stadia Cat? Oh no, Marv does not wear a collar. We tried to get collars. We didn't get collars for our cats when we first got them, and so it took like when we ended up getting them collars, they just take them off. And both of our cats have like a billion toes, like they've got a lot of extra fingers basically, and so they just take them off. Like Marv, who you guys call Stadia Cat, Marv essentially has thumbs. Mutant cats, yeah. What's it called when cats have extra digits? Cats with extra toes. There's a name for it. Polydactyl. There you go. Polydactyl. Look at that. Sam knew it right off the top of his head. Well done, Sam. They are the future, not us, Charles. Sam is a cat scientist? I love that idea. You know what they call those? Veterinarians. Jerome says VR. Not really a question, but I'll assume that you mean, is Stadia going to have VR? I don't think it will for a long time. You kind of look like Xavier. Yeah, all bald dudes look the same. He doesn't have a beard. All right. Well, I think that about wraps up the show for today. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And if you want me to do these more often, just, you know, type yes in chat. If you want me to do these chats more often, let me know. And while you're doing that, I'm going to say thank you to Dexter and Jack and Joel and Eric and Stadia Stream and Mitch and Elias and Anthony and Live Network and Kulnur and Tyler and Nightstar and Billy and Jason Curtis and Nick Strong. Thank you guys all for supporting the channel with the super stickers and super chats. You guys are fantastic, and I love seeing all of the yeses that people are saying. Thank you for hanging out with me. Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Come right back here for me actually recording Stadiacast. We're going to be talking about the paste bin. We're going to talk about the banning, and I might even talk. I don't know that I'm going to talk about Steam this week. I might save that for next week so I can talk about that with Lloyd. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. You're fantastic. Bye bye.